Hello everybody, Dr. Fatma Zhraa, Salem with you, a professor in the Faculty of Education at Ain Shams University. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic related to our course in readings of major in English. This topic is how to choose the proper reference. Let's see the matter. Okay, at first let's explore our agenda. We have three topics in our agenda. The first topic is related types of references. The second topic related to the what types of references are appropriate or suitable. The last topic steps to choose the proper references. So we have in our agenda three main topics. Let's see the matter. So in fact, we have many types of references such as the books. The books you can find the books in your university, in your faculty, in your library at home, or your state libraries or public libraries at your state. So the books is very important, and you should select the relevant books that coming up with your research idea. Also, the most important thing is the scientific periodicals or journals. This is very important to refer to these scientific periodicals because these periodicals and journals are peer reviewed from many scientific persons and academic persons, and it have impact factors and editor. So these published in the high and important impact factor journals. So these periodicals you should mention the studies in these periodicals and the studies that coming up with your research idea and fits your idea. Also, the newspaper. The newspaper is very important for you to up to date because it's up to date news related to your topic maybe, and you can refer to this newspaper, but be careful and you should select the official newspaper and avoid the non-official newspaper. Also, the conference paper is acceptable because it's recent and up-to-date ideas and issues and propose many solutions to many ideas. But please select the conference papers that be reviewed from and published in the impact factor journals and high journals or acceptable journals, because this is very important to refer to the last update and the last or recent statistics of your topic or of your research idea. Also, the electronic materials, this is type of your references, but as much you can, you should avoid these electronic materials because it's not be reviewed and from the academic world, and please such as the websites, such as the blogs, such as the forums, online papers, you should be careful while you select anything from these electronic materials, and as much you can avoid these electronic materials. So we have types of references such as books, scientific periodicals, this is very important, conference paper, newspaper, and electronic materials. So the second topic in our agenda, what types of references are appropriate or suitable in your research paper? Actually, we can divide these references or these types of references that's suitable for your research and your scientific paper according to the levels of high, medium, and low. Highly appropriate thing is to back to the peer-reviewed periodicals or journal articles. This is very important for you and they will support your scientific paper. Secondly, potentially appropriate. This is available in your hand, such as books, encyclopedias, and other scholarly works. This is very important to back to institutional works or institutional scientific papers, book, encyclopedias, and other scholarly works. So this is potentially appropriate and this is acceptable for you. And as much you can, you should avoid usually inappropriate, or all the time it's inappropriate, and as much you can, you should avoid this magazines, blogs, and websites. So all these things, magazines, blogs, and websites, not proper and not suitable in your research and scientific papers. So you shouldn't refer to this type of references because it's not acceptable in the academia or in academic world. So we can refer to the high appropriate peer-reviewed journal articles and the potentially appropriate such as books, encyclopedias, and other scholarly or institutionally works or institutionally papers or the scientific papers inside the institutions or official institutions or academic institutions. And the last topic in our agenda is the steps to choose a proper or suitable reference. So what are the most important steps to choose and select the proper reference that coming up with your research paper? Actually, there are many steps to choose the proper reference. Number one is determine the research idea on which you want to collect information. So first of all, put your hand on the research idea that you need to collect the proper information from many references to serve this idea. So determine the research idea on which you want to collect information. Secondly, look for papers related to the research idea in peer-reviewed journals at first. So firstly, you should select the periodicals that peer-reviewed journals and has impact factor and the most of, and the study and has the researches that serve your research idea and serve your scientific paper. So look for or search for papers that related to your research idea in peer-reviewed journals first. Number three, look for or search books related to the research idea and are please never committed with only one type of attitude or intellectual trend or point of view of the writers or the academic person or the scientific person or the researcher, but you should mention many books or many researches that differ from each other to enrich your scientific paper and to mention and to analyze these ideas and these points of view and criticize all these points of view and to propose your new idea and new solution to the problem. So look for books related to the research idea and aren't restricted to one type books intellectual trends, but the diversity or multiplicity or multiple ideas of trends and to enrich your research idea. And this is something healthy. Number four, avoid the books that not having any information inside these books, such as in terms of publishers, the place of publication, or books that are not updated in its information and not updated in the modern information or not modern views or modern or recent information related to your field of study or your field of research. So avoid, please, as much you can this type of books because it's not useful for you and not important for you. So avoid books that are not fully documented in terms of year of publication or the year or the publisher, the name of the writer, or place of publication, or books that aren't updated and don't agree with modern views or recent point of view of the field of research. In defining the terms, when you need to define the terms or the definition or concepts related to your research idea and your research paper, please start with the reliable encyclopedias and scientific dictionaries. So this is very important and a part of your scientific to build your scientific paper properly, and very important, it's very important to back to the dictionaries and the encyclopedias and scientific encyclopedias and dictionaries that related to this term and technical term, and this that related to the concepts that related to your topic or your idea or your research idea. Also, the master's and doctoral theses are considered among the most important researchers' previous studies, and this is very important to back to the master and the doctoral theses. This is very important to refer to these theses because you need in your to support your idea with or your new idea with previous studies related to your research idea, as well as a scientific as well as the scientific research in referred scientific journals. This is very important to back to the when you need to build your preview studies or previous studies or literature review, your literature review or the previous studies in your scientific paper. You should back to the master's and doctoral thesis, which considers among the most important to your previous studies, as well as a scientific research or scientific research in referred or peer-reviewed scientific journals. So these are the 6 steps to choose the proper reference in your for your research paper and for your scientific paper. Now it's time for practicing. Please search about Immanuel Kant, the great philosopher of philosophy of education. Please search on appropriate references related to this idea or the Immanuel Kant. So your duty to search for the references that coming up with the topic of Immanuel Kant philosophy of education. So you search for the philosophy of education of the Immanuel Kant. My dear students, Dr. Fatma Zahra Salem with you, a professor and the Faculty of Education at Ain Shams University in the Foundations of Education Department. This is the last lecture in our course of readings of major in English. Hope these lectures and this course was useful for you in your field of study in the foundations of education and in your life in general. And you in your academic world too. Thank you so much. Please keep on your smile because you deserve to be an optimistic person, enthusiastic person, to smile in front and to be positive in front of your students and in front of yourself too. Bye bye. Thank you so much. Bye bye.